I'm Sharon Nagle, Kevin, Suzanne, John and just Shay, and Suzanne. Okay, sorry. John and Suzanne were our best friends from 2002, and in Chelan, he was best friends with Todd's oldest brother, Leon Pettit, and so we go back. The four of us go back. At least John and Todd and I go back, and Suzanne too from 2002. And I just want to welcome everybody to that has come to join us to honor our friends and the two founders of the Sangha, the two people who there would not be a Sangha here at all if they had not initiated it at the Unitarian Church in 2002 in the spring. We'll hear more about it in the service, but I just want to welcome everybody. And Joan, do you guys want to introduce yourself so that everyone will know who you are? And I think we should all go around and introduce ourselves. Would you start?
I'm Joan. I'm Joan Crew, John's twin sister.
I'm Gordon Lester. Johnny's my wife. I've known Johnny since he was graduated from high school.
I'm Kim Gordon, and I'm part of the Lester family.
Okay.
Russ Lester. John Lenical.
Okay, your first name again?
Russ.
Russ, okay. Okay, and Leroy, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, Leroy Farmer. I was part of the Buddhist group Sangha back in the early, I don't know, right after it started, and I was one of the people that came in with John, and Suzanne was part of that group for many years, actually.
Yeah, until you were part of the group off and on until we moved, just about a year or so before we moved out of there, so not many gone now. Okay, Patricia, would you like to introduce yourself, and then we'll go around?
Okay. I'm Patricia St. August. I'm a member.
Martin?
I'm Matilde Pivanco, maestra Comina Fino Monsaco.
I'm John Sessi, I'm a member.
I'm Stella Taylor. I'm a member.
I'm Karen.
I'm Todd Dyko Pettit, member.
I'm Matthew Sway Morgan. I've been practicing this song for a few years, and I'm tremendously grateful to have this song here.
My name is Alyssa Sukisatsu Arnold, and I'm a member.
I'm Marlena Moore, and I'm a member.
Joe Flau, and I'm a member. I'm Rick Proctor, Lucan, Denzo, and Grateful Chuck. Never met.
Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do a meditation. We're going to keep it to 15 minutes. And Daiko is very, very good at watching anyone's discomfort and making sure that cared for.
You can adjust yourself if you feel discomfort during the meditation. The way to do it is just put your hands together in a little gasho, and then adjust whatever hurts and get that settled, and then just put your hands in gasho again to show you're done. And so, if you need to do that, please do. We want people to be comfortable here. But, any questions?
The way we do meditation here is Zen style. Is right palm up, left palm, and you touch your fingers and you put it right below your belly button. And that is considered to be your intuitive center. And just breathe in and out, fall deeply into it. And don't close your eyes, but just keep them kind of just about 3 feet ahead of you, 4 feet, whatever's comfortable. And just soft gaze. And just breathe in and out. That's one way to do it. Another way is just to kind of shake hands with yourself with your thumbs, cross your thumbs, wrap your right hand around your left thumb, and pull that basically into your chest. Here is another way. Another way, because we have Tibetans that practice here too, and if some people are more comfortable, just placing their hands on their knees, and just with an open kind of just an openness. And that way, you know, a lot of people find that more comfortable because it's not so closed in. So any of those things are fine, or whatever you want to do. You're our guests. You can't do anything wrong. And we love you, and we want to just share this few moments with you. And so it's like a prayer. I tell my friends over at the United Methodist Church where I work that what I do is I sit in the mind of God when I do this. guide what's going to be going on. So we invite you to follow along.
So I'm going to read a piece called Nirvana the Waterfall by Shenru Suzuki. He was the founder of the Zen Center in San Francisco, came from Japan. And it's called The Waterfall. Before we were born, we had no feeling. We were one with the universe. This is called mind only, or essence of mind, or big mind. After we are separated by birth from this oneness, as the water falling from the waterfall is separated by the wind and rock, then we have feeling. You have difficulty because you have feeling. You attach to the feeling you have without knowing just how this kind of feeling is created. When you do not realize that you are one with the river or one with the universe, you have fear. Whether it is separated into drops or not, water is water. Our life and death are the same thing. When we realize this fact, we have no fear of death anymore, and we have no actual difficulty in our life. When the water returns to its original oneness with the river, it no longer has any individual feeling to it. It resumes its own nature and finds composure. How very glad the water must be to come back to the original river. If this is so, what feeling will we have when we die? I think we are like the water in the dipper. We will have composure then, perfect composure. It may be too perfect for us just now, because we are so much attached to our own feeling, to our individual existence. For us, just now, we have some fear of death. But after we resume our true original nature, there is nirvana. That is why we say, to attain nirvana is to pass away. To pass away is not a very adequate expression. Perhaps to pass on, or to go on, or to join would be better. We say, everything comes out of emptiness. One whole river, or one whole mind, is emptiness. When we reach this understanding, we find the true meaning of our life. When we reach this understanding, we can see the beauty of human life. Before we realize this fact, everything that we see is just delusion. Sometimes we overestimate the beauty. Sometimes we underestimate or ignore the beauty because our small mind is not in accord with reality. To talk about it this way is quite easy, but to have the actual feeling is not so easy. But by your practice of Zazen, meditation, you can cultivate this feeling. When you can sit with your whole body and mind, and with the oneness of your mind and body under the control of the universal mind, you can easily attain this kind of right understanding. Your everyday life will be renewed without being attached to an old, erroneous interpretation of life. When you realize this fact, you will discover how meaningless your old interpretation was, and how much useless effort you had been making. you will find the true meaning of life. And even though you have difficulty falling upright from the top of the waterfall to the bottom of the mountain, you will enjoy your life.
Before we start the chanting, I want to just explain for our guests a little bit. It's traditional in Zen to do a series of chants called the Dai Segaki, which is considered to be in the language of the dead. It's a traditional memorial service that is chanted in Japan and in various forms in Korea and Vietnam too. If you want to, you can try it. If you get lost, just listen. It's fine. As I said, you can't do anything wrong. Sutra books?
And if you don't have a sutra book, our apologies. Simply listening is just as good. We're going to start at the bottom of page 3.
Nirvana, past, present, and
Lord Paramita is the greatest Rani, the brightest Rani, the highest Rani, the incomparable Rani, it completely clears all suffering. This is the truth, not a lie. So set forth the Prajnaparamita Dharani. Set forth this Dharani and say, Gate, Gate, Para Gate, Parasangate, Bodhisvaha, Heart Sutra.
Page 34.
We hold our hands in prayer position for this.
The Song of Zazen by Hakuin Ikaku Zenji.
Sentient beings are primarily all Buddhas. It is like ice and water. Apart from water, no ice can exist. Apart from sentient beings, no Buddhas can be found. Not knowing how near the truth is, we seek it far away. What a pity! We are like a person who, in the midst of water, cries in thirst so imploringly. We are like the child of a wealthy person who worries about having enough money. The reason why we transmigrate through the 6 worlds is that we are lost in the darkness of ignorance, going astray further and further in the darkness. When are we able to be free from birth and death? As for Zazen practice in the Mahayana, we have no words to praise it fully. The virtues of perfection such as charity and morality and the invocation of the Buddha's name, confession and ascetic discipline, and many other good deeds of merit, all these return into this. Those who truly practice Zazen, even for just one sitting, will see all their evil karma erased. Nowhere will they find evil paths, but the Pure Land will be near at hand. With a reverential heart, if we hear this truth even once, and praise it, and gladly embrace it, we will surely be blessed most infinitely. But if we concentrate within, and testify to the truth that self-nature is no nature, we have really gone beyond foolish talk. The gate of the oneness of cause and effect is opened. The path independent of differentiation runs straight ahead. To regard the form of no form as form, whether going or returning, we cannot be any place else. To regard the thought of no thought as thought, whether singing or dancing, we are the voice of the Dharma. How boundless the clear sky of Samadhi, how transparent the perfect moonlight of the fourfold wisdom. At this moment, what more need we seek? As the truth eternally reveals itself, this very place is the lotus land of purity. This very body is the body of the Buddha.
Page 13.
Hands in Osho for this as well.
Everyone joins in on the bell when the bell strikes. 家人有了喜，三心幸福人安好开心，一心有心走南无际后福南无际后阿南无际后生南无唵苏悉达姆尼南无来自来地有故参其因菩萨南无地头唵南三沙南无萨婆诃头呀头婆哟毗祇连三摩拉三摩拉怛那无苏哟婆呀头呀头悉头言苏哟婆呀苏哟婆呀苏哟娑摩诃那无萨曼那婆哟南观那无欧贤吉来那无头婆吉来那无有须贤吉来那无头阿贤吉来那无利夫利吉来那无堪婆哟吉来那无唵弥陀吉来那无唵弥陀婆呀头呀头呀头尼呀头唵弥瑞苏婆弥唵弥瑞头悉达唵弥唵弥瑞头比呀那吉唵弥瑞头比呀那头呀弥尼呀呀有悉头呀利娑摩诃见修呀吉见定悉福悉罗萨树地真变开蒙蒙沙天贤悉都有弥三真都提三波阿无极条件最深不周卡坤最不天真弥来一气顺三尊八悉具天地见出有天四季可数季天际后一悉地见有一数数安数三天后大不摩毗罗贼三沙布拉朱布丢摩沙利库三南有苏林三有西安西三苏安南主生三有摩毗罗三南苏人苏人有三人四人地苏坤贼复有后一须多天地生三百度真不漏地后三七一悉悉福悉松菩萨摩诃萨摩诃后迦婆罗蜜。
the valley pours the ambrosial nectar. 10,000 peaks of pine wind strike the Dharma drum. On this 24th day of April, offering incense and pure water with Dai Segaki chanting, let us dedicate to Daigi crew and Suzanne, Zhenru, Harper, and all known and unknown deceased Dharma brothers and sisters. May the sun of wisdom shine brighter and brighter, and may we all cease wandering in the darkness of ignorance. Let true Dharma continue, universal Sangha relations become complete.
We're next going to hear from someone who is facing his own impermanence right now. It's Thich Nhat Hanh, who is definitely a Zen teacher. His roots are in Rinzai Zen, just as ours are here. And he's taken it as Rinzai Zen is allowed to do in his own direction. That's the one thing about Rinzai. It's each different place of practice is allowed to make their own. And he says about impermanence, one autumn day, I was in a park, absorbed in the contemplation of a very small but beautiful leaf, in the shape of a heart. Its color was almost red, and it was barely hanging on the branch, nearly ready to fall down. I spent a long time with it, and I asked the leaf a lot of questions. I asked the leaf whether it was scared because it was autumn and the other leaves were falling. The leaf told me, no, during the whole spring and summer, I was very good. I worked hard and helped nourish the tree. And much of me is in the tree. Please do not say that I am just this form, because the form of leaf is only a tiny part of me. I am the whole tree. I know that I am already inside of the tree, and when I go back to the soil, I will continue to nourish the tree. That's why I do not worry. As I leave this branch and float to the ground, I will wave to the tree and tell her, I will see you again very soon. Suddenly I saw a kind of wisdom, very much like the wisdom contained in the Heart Sutra, which we just chanted. You have to see life. You should not say life of the leaf. You should only speak of life in the leaf and life in the tree. My life is just life, and you can see it in me and in the tree. That day there was a wind blowing, and after a while I saw the leaf leave the branch and float down to the soil, dancing joyfully, because as it floated, it saw itself already there in the tree. I was so happy. I bowed my head, and I knew that we had a lot to learn from the leaf. Tomorrow I will continue to be, but you will have to be very attentive to see me, I will be a flower or a leaf. I will be in these forms, and I will say hello to you. If you were attentive enough, you will recognize me, and you may greet me. I will be very happy.
We're going to continue chanting on page 6. Everyone joins on the gong strike. This is the Great Light Dharani. Namu Samana Page 85. The Dharma treasure shines in the ocean of Shunyata. The waves of samsara come and go, transcending ancient and modern, in the midst of imperturbable samadhi. The form of no form reveals ever, ever, and forever. On this 24th day of April 2019, offering incense, flowers, light, fruit, sweets, and tea, with chanting of great compassionate Dharani, let us dedicate to Renzai Gigan Zenji Dayosho, Akuni Kaku Zenji Dayosho, Shingyo Shitsu Sochu Zenji Dayosho, Yoho Shitsu Genpo Zenji Dayosho, Buddha Shakyamuni Nyorai Dayosho, Soen Genju Nakagawa Zenji Dayosho, Choroan Yugen Senzaki Dayosho, Yamamoto Genpo Zenji Dayosho, Bodhidharma Daishi Dayosho, Ryoga Kutsu Soen Shaku Zenji Dayosho. May the lineage of Dharma shine ever more brightly, and may the flowers always bloom at Shorinji, the temple of the first Zen patriarch. Let true Dharma continue, universal Sangha relations, stone blossom Sangha become complete.
Sanshi Ishifu Shison Musa Moko Sa Moko Oya Oromi.
This is a dedication of our imperfect ancestors. In spring, 3 rascals dreamed of a Zen Sangha. Stone built a garden. In the spring of 2002, 3 people petitioned the Cascade Unitarian Universalist Fellowship to sanction a Zen meditation group. All 3 were very imperfect human beings. There was an advanced Soto Zen student, Douglas Ray, Suzanne Harper, and John Cruz. These 3 were joined later by Daiko and me in the fall of 2002. A week later, Pat Brooke joined us, and the founding members of Stone Blossom Sangha began their work of loving the current Sangha into existence. Now, Doug was a former heroin addict. John was a loving and irascible contrarian. Suzanne was a gentle artist, dancer, and partner in the fun that John always sought. They were not fully enlightened beings. These 3 and the 3 that joined them in the fall were human, very human. And Shunryu Suzuki Hiroshi is quoted as saying, "You're all perfect, just the way you are, and you could all use a little work." John named the Sangha in 2006 after the meditation garden that he designed and the Sangha built. Doug dropped his body in 2010. Another inspirational figure in Stone Blossom Sangha was the founder of the Ellensburg Sangha, Tuck Do-Yu Forsyth, who left this life on June 12, 2017. And he was followed by Pat Brooke in December 2017. Suzanne died from Alzheimer's disease December 20, 2018. John joined her March 10, 2019, as this Sangha sat in Zazen in a Zen retreat, the last day of our retreat. The Sangha has previously welcomed Tuck and Pat as Sangha ancestors. Today, we're going to acknowledge John, Daigi, Crew, and Suzanne Zhenru, sorry, we're still struggling with their names. Zhenru Harper, and with this ceremony as ancestors of Stone Blossom Sangha. John's Dharma name was given to him by a Genko Kathy Blackman Neosho. a wonderful Sangha friend and teacher. Daigi means great doubt, and anyone who knew John will recognize why Genko gave him this name. Suzanne is named Zhenru. One night, as I began my journey toward the role of teacher, I read a passage from Thich Nhat Hanh on suchness, another word for enlightenment. It was a term that in those days I often spoke of, and Suzanne had been trying to figure out. On this particular evening, she spoke out, "It's thisness! It's thisness!" I looked at her and saw her shining from within with the light of understanding. And last summer, the last time I spoke with John, he talked about the last time Suzanne woke up from her fall. And they had a conversation. She looked at him and said, "It's all business." So I have chosen Zhenru, which means thusness, or her Dharma to me.
So henceforth, the dedication we do every morning will include these ancestors, including Suzanne and John.
John thought he would never see me bow to him.
Buddha nature pervades the whole universe, revealing right here now, with this morning service, offering incense and pure water, with chanting of Heart Sutra and great light Dharani, let us dedicate to endless dimension universal life. Buddha Shakyamuni Nyorai, Kanjian Dai Busatsu, Seishi Dai Busatsu, Manju Dai Busatsu, Fugen Dai Busatsu, Jizu Dai Busatsu, Kokuzo Dai Busatsu, Namu Sanzei Sanzen Cho Butsu. Buddha Shakyamuni Daiosho, Bodhidharma Daishi Daiosho, Renzai Gigan Zenji Daiosho, Dogen Kigan Zenji Daiosho, Hakuni Kaku Zenji Daiosho, Anya Kutsu Genpo Zenji Daiosho, Mita Kutsu Soen Zenji Daiosho, Shinkyo Shitsu Sochu Zenji Daiosho, Aryo Jukei Ruth Zenji Daiosho, Yon Morin Zenji Daiosho, Muho Genki Zenji Daiosho, Douglas Ray Zenji Daiosho, Tuk Doyu Forsyth Zenji Daiosho, Pat Rook Zenji Daiosho, Suzanne Zhenru Harper Zenji Daiosho, John Daigi Crew Zenji Daiosho. Past, present, future, all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, all Zenji Daiosho, let true Dharma continue, universal Sangha relations become complete. Jiro Sanshi Ishi Fu Shizon Usa Moko Sa last chanting will be the four great vows on page 22. The number of sentient beings is innumerable. We vow to care for them all. The number of self-delusions is inexhaustible. We vow to relinquish them all. The number of gates to truth is immeasurable. We vow to enter them all. The Buddha way is one of complete wakefulness. We vow to manifest it. Shujo Muhen Sengando Mono Mujen Segandan Homon Muryo Segangaku Butsudo Mujo Seiganjo Shujo Muen Seigando Mono Mujen Seigandan Homon Muryo Seigangaku Butsudo Mujo Seiganjo Shujo Muen Seigando Mono Mujen Seigandan Homon Muryo Seigangaku Butsudo Mujo Seiganjo.
And then there's a saying, when in doubt, thou. I think we might differentiate or deviate a bit from our schedule here, in that I think we will have our tea, and we'll do it in a little less formal style, and then we'll have remembrances around the tea. So, Saki and Sally?
It's Jeff.
Or Jen, okay. I never know what's going on.
You might need to add a few more, Jeff.
Daiko, do you want to explain what we're going to do? Or yes?
I don't know what we're going to do. 'Cause you just said
We're going to do tea, but we're going to also have remembrances.
Well, we're gonna have some bells and some bows.
Bells and bows.
Huh?
Bells and
Bells and
bows.
bows. Yeah. So when you hear a bell, just bow. And when you see the tea server approaching, just bow and hold up your cup and get your tea. And after the tea server leaves, then set your cup down and bow again to say, please, I'd like some tea. That's the first bow. And please, I thank you for the tea. And that's the second bow. And as the tea server goes around, we'll all be served tea. And as we get our tea and finish our bows, we will set the tea we'll set the tea down, and then we'll finish our bows, and then we'll wait until everyone has come back, the tea servers, everyone's served, and then we'll have our tea. Oh, there's a chocolate cookie also.
Chocolate chip cookie. And one more thing.
There are chocolate cookies involved, and you can take a chocolate cookie, you can take 2 chocolate cookies, but if you don't want a chocolate cookie, then you just go like this without the hands. You just go like this and you refuse the chocolate cookie. I don't know when that would ever happen, but
What in there too?
yeah.
Yeah.
What did she say, Pearl?
Oh, bread.
Have you put a couple on there for wine then? Extra cookies for wine.
We got all the cookies down.
Okay, all right. Okay, wine. Make sure you have some.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, cut just a bit.
All bow.
Cup on the left, napkin on the right. Probably getting confused, that's okay.
The tea server and cookie server will go around to the left, to the far side, and around over there, and then come back over here. And I should be the last one to be served.
So you can kind of watch what they're doing.
If you're in danger of getting tea, bow sooner rather than later, and hold your cup up.
She got
You may bow now. You may bow now. Okay. Oh, no, we're going around the other way. I'm sorry. Just a- She needs more tea.
There's one for me and one for you. Right one for me, one for you. I'm not sure which one I want.
And,
I don't want to.
please bow. And you may pick up your tea first and have a drink, and then you may drink tea and eat cookie as you wish until you have finished everything.
That's what I want.
And I think that sensei meant that we could talk. Is that right? While we're having our tea. Normally, the tea is silent, but tonight not so. So if you wish to talk, that's good.
And also, what I would like to encourage people is to give us the remembrances they have. John, would you like to go first? Family, if you have anything to say.
Then I thank you all for doing this.
We love him. We still love him. He's still here with us. We are his companions. We are his companions.
Talking.
No.
I'd like to think my brother is still here with us.
Did he die?
He died on the 10th of March when we were sitting here in this very building.
He did not want to go.
John was full of life. That's one thing about John, always full of life.
I don't know if you know that he was suffering from cancer, and you knew he was going to have the, what do they call it, when they chemotherapy. But they approached him to see if he would be a good guinea pig in an experiment, because they had had a treatment in Europe that had been successful. I believe in lung cancer, and they wanted to test it out in this country so they could use it in other things. So he became sort of a guinea pig in the experiment. And I think he did that because he helping other people. But he told them he wanted to have the real stuff, you know, not the one that they just indicate something. And apparently they did give him the good stuff. For the first 4 or 5 therapies, infusions, it went well. And then apparently it turned on his lungs and was destroyed.
So sad. I remember that John, I just turned 70, and I remember when John turned 70, he went to Gold Gym and worked on and accomplished becoming the winner of the Ironman contest for those in his age group. I remember him as strong and vital and loving and fun. Believe it or not, occasionally John would take a turn as Daigi, which is what this guy over here has been doing. And he decided, we used to drum before the meditation, and he decided that we just couldn't come in. He said it felt like we were mooning the Buddha when we come in and just bow to our seat. So he devised that we would go out and come into the hall and the foyer there and come in one at a time, and each come in and bow to the Buddha and go to our seats, and he felt much better.
That's why that happened.
That's why that happened. It was John.
What was he like as a younger person? Like you said, John, that you've known him since he was 18, high school.
No, that's his twin sister.
I know. Then what's
I met him just after he graduated from high school. I've been going to Joan for 2 years, and I had never met her brother. But we worked together in our shed, and I don't think either one of us knew who the other one was. So, at any rate, we became very good friends. With John, what you see is what you got. It really didn't change.
Yeah.
Would you like to say something?
I was still listening. Are you talking to me?
Anybody, any more family members? Leroy, you knew him a long time.
A long time. Yeah, I like what you see is what you got, you know, with John. Yeah, I don't know. There's just so many things, so many memories. It's hard to pin any one down. You know, he was I've been a member of the Cascade Unitarian Church since '85, and I think he came in like '96 or '97 was when John and Suzanne started coming, and they just jumped right in, and you know, he was president 3, 4, and 5, I think, and he wasn't just, you know, the leader. I mean, he raked the leaves, and he, you know, fixed the heating system, and so I just worked with him on so many things, and then so I was also part of the drumming circle before the Buddhist group, and then also we formed a dream group that met weekly for, I don't know, maybe 10 years until Rita moved away. But so I guess I don't know. He was just a really good friend because we knew each other at so many different levels, being part of those groups and part of the dream group where we would share the messages that came in the night, their possible meanings, and so you really get to know someone when you're sharing those details about each other and all the possible things. And the thing about John is he could turn most conversations into something sexual. He just had his way, you know, so it was always, you know, you just had to wait for a little bit, and he'd bring something out, and everybody would kind of grin, and, you know. Anyway, just a great guy, and so hands-on, and so sincere, and so kind and caring, and a great artist, you know, and a great thoughtful person, you know, very thoughtful. So it was a real pleasure to have him, to share our lives together with all we had.
You know, it's funny, after, well, I didn't know at the time, but it was a glass infusion. After that treatment, he spent, I would go with him to the treatments. I'd go stay at his house afterwards, help him get around for the next few days or whatever. And that last time, he told me the story of the founding of this Buddhist group that he'd been part of, and how Suzanne had wanted to join this Buddhist group that was going to be taught by this guy who was just, you know, recently released from prison and just on the edge of shady there, and John wasn't quite so sure he wanted to go by herself, so he kind of joined too, and it picked him up and carried him along in its energy. And the other thing he talked about that afternoon was that dream group and the dream journals he kept, and how amazing it was to him that the details that you could recall from your dream. And I think that this and that dream group really meant a lot to him. Just, I mean, you know, again, one of the last conversations that he had outside of the hospital was recalling all of you people.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. We love him. Whitney, do you knew John as when you were
a little kid?
Yeah, I don't remember any stories specifically. I just know he was close with my father, and my father had a lot of respect for him. But I don't remember any specific stories. Larry, he passed away a couple years ago.
So I have a lot of memories that you know, that go back to 2002, and what I remember is that when there was something wrong at the building, the church building, it was John that would go under the floor into in a crawl space and crawl around and fix things, or go up and change the bulbs. He was just a fixer. He just, I think he couldn't help himself. If something was wrong, he just automatically felt like he needed to fix it. But he didn't like that crawl space. I think he was trying to think about a way to remodel it so it was easier to get into. I served on the board with John, and then John told me that I was going to be the next president of the board of trustees, and I was going, wait a minute, you know. That's like when Sharon and I first decided to go there, and we were driving down on Sunday to go. I turned to her and I said, now, remember, don't volunteer for anything. And it wasn't much later, I was sitting on the board with John. And yeah, John was a lot to us. He joined the drumming group. We were a Middle Eastern band called the Scabland Band at that time. And Leroy was there, and I don't remember everyone else. Yeah, Dan Sconce, yeah, he was there. And we
Lois Cole.
So
Lois, yes. And Pat.
That
yeah.
That was a good
My
one.
God.
Yeah.
And we would do the drumming, and then we'd sit and do the meditation. So the two things actually worked well together. But John took me aside one day, probably in '05, I suppose, and he took me out back to the building and he said, I'm thinking about we should build a meditation garden right down this row of poplar trees, just a strip garden right down, make it like a stream bed, you know. And what do you think? And I said, pretty ambitious. And it was. And when you hear people talk about it, various people take credit for, you know, working on the garden, but there must have been 30 people, maybe 40 people that contributed to the building of that garden in the end. That was John's vision, and he managed to engage so many people into bringing rock, to doing piping, to tearing up sod, to create the stream bed, to do the lining and the filling with rock, so many things, and then even getting contributions in order to put in the benches. And I don't know if you guys are aware that the sourwood tree that's up at the head by the fountain, there's what's called a sourwood tree there that turns incredible red and gold colors in the fall. Does anybody remember seeing that? That was in a pot in front of John's house. Okay, that's where I first saw it. He was saying, I got this sourwood tree, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. And as that garden got built, he says, I'm going to put it by the fountain, you know, by the pool, really is what it is, the pool. And put it by the pool. And one day it appeared there, and I said, okay, you did it. And he said, yeah. And I've been told by Bonnie, it was Bonnie Orr, she said, that tree is dead right now. You know, it's not going to go.
It's flourished.
It just flourished, and just said, fie on that, I'm going. And it did. I mean, for a few years, a little doubtful, but then, my gosh, I took pictures of it one year in its full fall glory, and those pictures are just incredible. It's a wonder to see. Always remember to go out and look at the sourwood tree as long as that's out there if you get a chance in the fall, because that's its joyous time of year. That is when it really shows off. Anyway, I'm done.
The garden, I remember, there's also plum trees, that kind of wild plums really, that were planted along the banks. And so I had several occasions when I was part of the RE program, the religious education program for the kids. And we decided to do a farmer's market one year, and part of our produce came from those plum trees. Believe it or not, in the summer.
Sharon, I'm glad you brought up the sexual nature of his work.
Yes.
Because he has done some really good paintings and drawings that have a very erotic nature.
Yes.
But I am not sure what to do with them. I will not just sell them to the highest bidder because I do not want to see them hanging in some disrespectful spot. And I know Suzanne did not want, she was his model in many cases, did not want those in places that were disrespectful. So if you know of anything where they would be appreciated for what they are, let me know.
Okay, well, then we'll certainly think about it.
Well, did you talk to the Graves Gallery? They may want to keep them too.
I have not spoken with them.
I wouldn't.
So there was kind of a bad break between John and the Graves Gallery.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize that.
Unfortunately, there was.
But before that happened, he was awesome. I mean, I think that that's like a really important part of his service to this community and all the years that he did do the gallery. And at one time I went in and I just couldn't believe what he pulled. Like, he had the most amazing watercolorist with these huge canvases. One time I went in and I'm like, wow, John, how did you ever get this up, you know? Because they were so big, right? And hard to hang, and the woman was quite well known. And then another time he had a little more of an eclectic one, but he pulled in people that had such amazing vision. And John was so, you know, eccentric anyway, right? So he would always pull in these unusual artists.
He had a chocolate fountain in there.
Yeah, well, that was for a reception. He did a lot of wonderful things there, and that is true. And we were docents there when, because of John. We continued a little bit longer, but it wasn't the same after John was no longer there. And, we missed him too much. But yeah, John. What happened is that in 2002, I think the Sangha knows this story well enough. Daiko Todd and I walked into the Unitarian Church, and we announced we were Buddhist. They said, okay, there's the Buddhist section right over there, and there was John and Suzanne and Doug Ray all sitting up, you know, all sitting in meditation. And we went over and sat with them. Wow, these guys are really straight guys. And so we went the next, I think it was Thursday at that time. We changed it to Wednesday because there was conflict with
board meetings on
Thursday, and choir.
Rehearsals for choir on Thursday. Yeah. And they come and raid our people. You know?
Well, Suzanne particularly, John too when he was on the board, but and Todd. All of us they picked off because we were all on the board at one time. Anyway, yeah. So we went, and I tell you, Doug Ray could sit. I mean, that guy had discipline. He could sit. He would sit for an hour in zazen the way we did 15 minutes, right? And then, after an hour, he would begin his Dharma talk. And he required that you sit straight zazen during the Dharma talk. And that was another half an hour, 45 minutes. Oh, I got stretched sprains in my feet, all sorts of things from Doug, because he really just went at it. So, and John and Suzanne and Pat and I were all going, I wish he'd lighten up a little bit. Just a little bit. So we can walk. But John was really funny. I mean, you know, he was such a contrarian, and he didn't buy into a lot of things. He took exception with a couple things in the Heart Sutra. He and Leroy, I remember, commented one time on the passage that says, "This is the truth, not a lie." And they said, "Oh yeah."
You know now.
We have another John here.
John's not fine.
No, he's just reincarnated as Wu. But and there was we did so many things, and we would go. Todd and I were only usually gone at that point when we'd go to Chobuji and sit like 7-day sessions. And when we were gone, then John would take over. And I understand, now I just heard this from a couple people, that he actually became Doug. And then people said as long as he possibly could. Now I just heard that rumor. No, Leroy, was that true?
You never know.
Anyway, but yes, I know, but this is remembrance, and this is something where we all get to share. So the schedule is not as important as the remembrance. But one of the things is that John and Suzanne not only participated in the Zen group, but they also became part of the drumming group. And John was actually part of the main drumming group after the drummers of the Dawn at Cuff left or fell apart. And we moved around, we traveled around the state of Washington together, did a little bit of Oregon, even ventured a tow or two into Idaho. And I remember that one show here about Suzanne, you know, how beautiful and willowy and graceful she was, and she was such a dancer. And we were doing a Halloween hafla, and we did a dance there, and it was about Samhain, you know, the Celtic celebration of Halloween. And so she was the goddess, and she stood in the middle, and she did all of this wonderful stuff, and she was the star of the show that year. So many, many memories. So, yeah, we are all here, the continuation of John and Suzanne, and this group would not be together without it. Jeff, do you have anything to say before we move on?
I might just add one thing. Just last Saturday, we did we've got the 2-mile stretch of highway out by DJ's truck stop that I'm pretty sure John started that, and because I can't remember who else it would have been, but John led that group, the highway cleanup, twice a year for many years, and he ended up passing it on to me, and I can't get rid of it. I think of him every time I get a group together in the spring and fall. It's like, John, you know, what happened here? How did I end up doing this and you didn't? So anyway, but it was just another one of those things that he was involved in.
So if everybody is finished with your tea, you can hold it in your lap like this, and Daiko's going to ring a bell, and we'll all turn our cups upside down on our napkins. So if you need a minute to drink the rest of your tea, please do so.